I want to turn now to Congresswoman Joyce Beatty from Ohio, Democrat. Congresswoman, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. You're just from the House floor, where for the first time since hostilities with Iran began, war powers resolution passed. Give me your reaction.
Well, yes, it passed. Democrats were very victorious. Speaker Johnson brought a bill to the floor that he couldn't pass. There was a difference of some 7 or 8 members to make it pass. And look, today my reaction is one of, I'm glad it's done. I'm glad it's over. The American people didn't need to have hundreds of billions of dollars spent on a war when we can't still afford gasoline and the prices of food is high and people are looking at their health premiums. So Democrats stood united. We supported it because it was the right thing to do. And when we think about the laws in this country, it should have been in our hands, and today was a victory.
Speaking of laws, you were the litigant in a case brought against the president and the board of the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts, changing the name and the president's decision to attempt to close down the Kennedy Center, he says, for renovations for several years. And a federal judge has blocked both of that. What happens next?
Well, right now, as you know, in the judge's opinion that he wrote, we have 14 days for us to wait and see that Donald Trump and his administration, they were given 14 days to take his name off the building. Also, there was a halt put on his closing the facility for 2 years. And certainly, we were afraid that if he closed it for 2 years, he would probably do development that would keep it closed. We know what happened at the East Wing at the White House. He was going to do renovations, and the next thing we knew, the Rose Garden was gone, and he had demolished it. So we are thinking that same thing could happen to the Kennedy Center. So we are talking with members who have reached out from the board. I think that's a good sign. In all of the rage that the president responded to it, at one time in one of those rants, he said, I'll just give it back to the Congress. So I think there are a lot of options for us. We've had performers call, we've had former employees call. So right now, people are so excited that we have the opportunity to be able to have the Kennedy Center in the way that the law was written for it to be, the only living memorial named after John F. Kennedy.
So, Congresswoman, in that very long social media post, a very angry one, as you mentioned, the president said, we are going to be working with Congress to transfer, these are his words, this failing institution back to them so they can make a determination as to what to do with it. And by extension, he said, that would give to Congress the responsibility for its operation, maintenance, and management. What does that mean, and is that fundamentally different than what the law already creates?
Well, it's very interesting. It's a combination of what the law creates, because already the Congress has the control over the Kennedy Center in much of what they do. We have ex officio members, we have the Speaker as a member, we have the House Leader, the President of the Senate, and we have other members there. Obviously, there are other members that are appointed by the President of the United States, but here's the thing. We have given hundreds of millions of dollars for renovation. I've already spoken to the operation manager of the Kennedy Center. He has said that we could do the renovations and still keep the Kennedy Center open. So I think there's a lot of positive things that we could move forward to, and there's no reason we can't let performances like the symphony or the orchestra play in different places. We have the Reach building, which is relatively new. So there are a lot of creative things we could do, and so we're excited about moving forward.
Congressman, before I let you go, very quickly, in his social media post, the president also said that the Kennedy Center, as it is now, is a danger to public safety. He said things would collapse on people, parking garages, and all sorts of other things. Is there anything that you're aware of at the Kennedy Center that is a public health risk?
Absolutely not. A few weeks ago, I took the tour with many others. Are there things that need to be done? Absolutely. But it is not to the point that the president said. And think about it this way. If that was so true, would you have held the viewing of your wife's movie there? Would you have hosted some of the wealthiest people in the country and your friends there in the last few weeks? Absolutely not. Construction, yes. We need to do all of the things that were in the report that we had experts come in and tell us about the soffits, about things in the garage, and we will do those things because we had planned to do those things anyway. I think he's over-exaggerating it. He has continued to host and have people there.
Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, Democrat of Ohio, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.